Hi everyone, this is Cindy with Creating with a Heart, and I am back with the second part of what will probably be an ongoing series on Smash Books. So the idea behind the series is for me to keep you updated on how I'm using the Smash Books, different ideas that I have in using them, and sort of my personal philosophy on not only how to use scrapbooks or how to use Smash Books, but on scrapbooking in general. And what I mentioned, and I think I mentioned in the first video, was that I want things to look beautiful. And even though the Smash concept and the Project Life concept are there, the idea of making things easier and quicker doesn't mean that they can't be beautiful. Especially if you are already a crafter, you have die cut machines, you have metal dies, beautiful paper, stickers. I mean, there are lots of ways to beautify these products, even though they're supposed to be quick and easy. So one that I'm going to show you guys today is really more, in a lot of ways, is more the Smash style. And this is an idea that I came up with before I was going on my trip to Hawaii. I thought it'd be really fun over the summer for my kids to make a scrapbook of our trip. And so they actually, and I don't know what is up with this camera. So, let me move it up a little bit. So I cut ahead of time different headings and titles and things that they could use for their Smash book, and then I would print out the pictures and they could just put it in a book. So they both did their own Smash book, and the idea is that our next vacation they would add to it. So it would be a vacation book. So they each did their own. And so I had everything cut ahead of time. So this is my daughter's, and she needs more glue. I just noticed right here. That's the problem with the kids. My kids are 5 and 6. So what I discovered is they're really terrible at putting glue on stuff. But I'm going to show you my son's. He's a little bit older. He's 6. And so this is his book, and I'll probably do something with the cover. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't really seen anybody alter the covers. So here's the Smash. And, I went over more in the first video about why I like the Smash. But one is that it's very, very durable. The other is that they have these closed rings. It's not like a bind it all or a cinch where you cinch the rings and then you've got that little gap thing and a little piece and things can slip out. It's fine for something that you're not going to keep adding to. But for something like this, you want something that's a little bit more secure. And you need thicker pages. You really, really do need thicker pages. And you need space for growth, because this is still going to end up probably pulling and being a little alligator, but it's not going to be giant, enormous. It's still going to open pretty well. So I had cut all this stuff ahead of time using my Cricut. And any of the pages that I thought were ugly, I put some paper down. And I just used paper I have from my stash, stuff I've been trying to get rid of. And so it's a great way to use it. So this is the first page, which is just Hawaii, and it's a picture of my son. And then we have the airplane ride. And, oops, this is freshly made, so everything's a little sticky. Aulani, which is where we stayed. And then he had 2 pictures to put down and a little picture of Mickey. And then he wrote a little journaling. It says, "My hotel room was super," is his. Yes? What? Okay, I'll be there in a second. My kids are knocking at the door. Okay, and the next one is our room. So a beautiful room. So they have pictures there. And so we'll cut out there. And then this one is water fun. And it says, "I liked to swim in the pool." And so we have some cutouts. And then they just glued all of that down. And the other says the beach. And so I had some cutouts for the beach. And it says the water was very salty. And my auntie, cousin, and my sister buried me in the sand. So we did some journaling. So this is our luau page. This is luau. And it says they took the pig out of the ground and the pig was good. So remember, he's 6. So, and this is North Shore. And it says, I saw a turtle right behind me and my dad. So a turtle did swim right behind him. I mean, my husband had to pull my son out of the way because turtle was, this giant turtle was right behind him. So that was pretty cool. And then the jellyfish, because my little niece actually got stung by a jellyfish. So a teeny one, I think, but she kept crying, couldn't figure out what the deal was. And so we figured out that she got bit by a jellyfish. Poor baby, she's only 4. Okay, and this says, I was happy to see my brother because my stepson is stationed in Hawaii, so we did see him. And so my son was very excited to see his brother. And then the Dole plantation, we didn't write very much down. We did have Dole whips. Went on the plantation train. This one says Disney Friends. So my kids took pictures with Stitch, with Mickey, with Goofy. We missed Chippendale. And then this one says Dukes, and it says I lost my tooth because my son actually was using a fork, and pulled out his fork out of his mouth, and his mouth was all bloody. And we're like, what the heck happened? And then his tooth fell out, and I was freaking out. My husband was much more calm about it than I was. I was like, oh my God. And he pretty much forked out his tooth. And luckily we found out that figured out that it was a baby tooth. And he was all concerned because he swallowed part of the tooth. But we were freaking out. And this is what we did for Father's Day. There's 10 of us in our party. My parents, my sister, her husband, her daughter, and then us. And so we were all freaking out at the table. I was sitting at the opposite end. And my son had forked out his tooth. So I made sure that we had a special picture of him actually. He has clean napkins in his mouth to stop the blood. And so, my gosh. And then our last day, it says Aloha, and we all went to eat at this diner that my stepson recommended. And we took a family picture there. And then that's it. So the next pages are blank. And so that will be where we continue with our next vacation, whatever we do next year. Then we'll put that in here, and I'll let the kids, as they get older, they'll probably be able to do more stuff, more writing, and they'll be able to add more things in it. Hopefully the idea is that they'll get familiar with the idea that that's what we're going to be doing after our vacation, and they'll start collecting memorabilia for it. I always collect memorabilia. I usually keep like a little envelope in my travel bag, and I just shove receipts and maps and brochures and all that kind of stuff I stick in there because I never know what part I'm going to cut out or I'm going to use in my scrapbook. And so hopefully when they get older, they'll do that. But this is a really fun project for kids and very, very easy, I think, for you. I mean, you could even do less than what I did. If your kids are older, they can cut their own stuff out, or they can write things out. They can print things off the internet and smash that in here. But I mean, I think it's really, really easy. And some of the pictures, some of the pages, I did not like the paper that was on there. Some of the paper was fine, but some of it I didn't like. So I just covered it up with some, this is die cuts with a view and summer paper. It's really, really thin, almost like a printer paper weight. And so I just cut it and slapped it down. And so, it's a good way to use up your scraps too. And so I just used that throughout just to kind of cover up some of the ugly paper that was actually down. And that's the thing about Smash is some of the paper is great and some paper is just like, ugh. And especially if you want to journal, I think that the Smash book is designed for more journaling type stuff. And so that's why I'm keeping one as a photo journal. And then another idea that I have is a recipe book, which I'm thinking about making for my stepdaughter who currently lives with us, but she's graduated from college. And so hopefully in a couple of years, she'll be thinking about living on her own. And she is not much of a cook. So I thought it would be really good to start making her a recipe book. That way she's not calling me up every afternoon asking me how to make something. She can open up her own recipe book. And so that's another good idea. So I'm going to be working on that and hopefully showing that to you guys. And if you have other ideas on how to use Smashbooks, let me know in the comments because I am interested in hearing more, especially since we've got more companies coming out with Smash-like products. And I think it's fun to combine all that stuff. Like Project Life, I think works really well in a smash book type or a photo journal type thing. It doesn't have to fit in little slots, like a Project Life, because just Project Life is just not for me. I like the idea of it though. You know what I mean? So anyway, thank you for watching. This is Cindy with Creating with a Heart.